Meantime, the IPO race is kicking into high gear. That's right, Uber is planning to sell around $10 billion worth of stock in its initial public offering. That, according to Reuters, the company is seeking a reported valuation between $90 and $100 billion. This coming as Lyft stock took another nosedive today amid reports rival Uber could file for a public offering as soon as tomorrow. Of course, we knew that this one was coming, but as we talked about these names coming out to the public market so close next to each other, the fear being you've got investors waiting on the sideline, waiting to pick and choose who they actually want to get into. I'm not sure if people who got into Lyft at the IPO might be jumping ship now to now move into Uber unless they were expecting some sort of a pop, which we're not seeing out of Lyft.
Well, it definitely feels like Uber is pushing their IPO. They want to debut on the New York Stock Exchange by May. So that means that they're going to start their roadshow by the end of April. So, yeah, they're just, getting their ducks lined up, their ducks in a row. But when it comes to the company's valuation at first, investors were saying, oh, it's going to be $120 billion. But now we're seeing that number drop to $90 to $100 billion, which is still a lot. But it's definitely indicative that, things aren't going quite as smoothly as they had expected.
The revenues were only $3 billion, right? So when you look at this is expensive by any measure. First of all, they don't make any money. We don't know when they're going to make money. And then also, they made $3 billion, but they want a $100 billion valuation. So when you look at the sales to market cap valuation, I mean, it's just absurd on any measure. I mean, you can go into the public market right now and find companies that are actually making money that you can get a better valuation.
That's why it's kind of crazy to think about how far Lyft is now below its $72 IPO price, right? Because that's generally the price that retail investors can't get in at. And every time you see a stock below that, you tend to wonder, all right, maybe some math was wrong there. But in terms of
Blue Apron, I mean, there's a slew of companies.
But a lot of them not so quick. We're talking about Lyft just a week's, days even away from when it actually went public. But when we talk about the step-up value in terms of its private valuation versus its public valuation, Lyft was up, about 60% from $15.1 billion to $24 billion. Uber, of course, as you mentioned, Sibile, when we were looking at that $100 to $120 billion range for its IPO, that was going to be in line with what Lyft had. But now it's a much less step up, and I wonder how much of that is because we're seeing Lyft shares be so weak on the public market.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, listen, as you can see from their comparable, there's not a huge appetite to own these companies, especially, so it's gone down. So of course they're going to file and try to come out as quickly as possible to capitalize on this. I'd like to mention that not a single one of these companies would have gone public with what happened in December. If the Fed didn't pivot, we would see an IPO calendar that would be desolate, right? And so now they're all trying to get out as quickly as possible. That's why we're seeing headline after headline after headline. Does this mean we're at the end of the market cycle? Who knows? But these certainly investors in the private side are trying to get out as quickly as possible to create liquidity for themselves. And I'd just like to point out Snap, right? Snap had that step up in valuation. They had the lockups and, they had this weird structure of voting rights, and look what happened to that.
Yeah. And it's a little bit concerning to me that the valuation of Uber is starting to fall, because that they just made this new deal to acquire Careem, which is a Lyft riding service in the Middle East. So they're trying to conquer all these new markets, but it looks like
Uber did, yeah. No, I mean, well, we talk about Uber's imprint around the world. That's another big thing, too. Lyft limited to just the U.S. and Canada for right now. But in terms of where this goes, I think it's a good point. The window of opportunity clearly closing, especially if you consider what we just talked about, the risk of recession as well. So we'll see what names decide to actually come out if that window closes. But one name that did come out and kind of let us off in the IPO race